basically, let's start with when to throw a chop and when to throw a wrap, right? So when you're lined up against your opponent in your guard, lots of these lanes are gonna just natively be closed. And to open these lanes and knowing when to throw a chop and when to throw a wrap is what you do to open and close them. You use a wrap to open the lane, and then you chop that inside lane after you've thrown the wrap. So what it'll look like in like high speed is like, I'm gonna throw this wrap, he's gonna bite hard and block it, and then off that, I take this outside lane and I get a free chop. Because I've made him block and I have an action to do my next action because his action was block. So if you just take your chains and you just like this, knowing I got a chop, you know, it just happens quicker. And this applies very much to sorting board too, in that when, granted this is more a lefty and righty interaction right now. It also applies in lefty, like in righty v righty and lefty v lefty. If I throw a wrap, he has to, no matter what, he knows that arm is gonna happen. If I land this wrap, the arm is gonna happen. His next strike is not gonna be valid. So he has to block that with this hand. You create that next action to throw your chop. That simply. And if that first action is blocked by him, instead of blocking and striking and taking the arm, which is, now we move up to intermediate level. So we're at the start, you know, beginner, knowing when to block, when to wrap. Now, once you move up the level, now you're talking about like, what's his counter and riposte, like then you start adding the layers of the fight. Like then he also gets a riposte when he blocks. So if he takes that riposte when he blocks, he can take my arm and then it's my gamble on the like swing to whether I take his arm with my arm, you know? And this interaction, we move it up an even further step, which is when you see me and Justinius fucking flail a lot like fucking idiots. When I've done this and I've thrown this hard wrap and then I've faked that chop and now we're both stuck here like frozen titans and then we both whiff the fuck out of each other. and that's because we both expected the block. And then we both expected the block strike. But neither of us threw blocks that could be blocked. It's so stupid. But it's going up the chain, you know? And then our interaction, like the interaction you see fights between like me and Justinius, it's all at the fake level. Do I get his guard out like just enough? You know? And his like super common thing to do is to get me to combat computer freeze. Right? And it's really, y'all need to learn how to output enough information that I can freeze. But once you get to that level, it's just like you're like I tell everyone, pushing buttons on a stupid person is just the same as like anything. Same with this, it's the same with throwing hands, it's the same with everything. Like body language, like it's just in everything. Like if I throw something here, he's gonna have a reaction. If I do it again, I know what that reaction is again. And it's just you're building up. Okay, I can't get this to win, but maybe I can fake that. And then he tries to swing and riposte, and then I can just fake make him bite, and then I swing back. You know that is it's all evolution. It's right? All evolution. And it's all off the when to chop and when to wrap. And the answer to both of those questions is always. Okay. That's good. Always do something. Because as long as you are doing something, especially on a big field, right? Like when you have a big line fight going and you have multiple fighters and I'm fighting 3 people, you notice, because I'm outputting that much information to hold 3 people. Because they all know I have threat, and I can kill 3 or more at once. I'm working on 4, but we'll get there. Evolution. And once I get to 5, then I'll call myself God tier and move on with my life. Go find a different hobby.
We're almost done.
Go find a different
Almost done.
hobby. That's funny.
I'll probably dub it in.